Welcome, everyone, to Austin by Starlight. Tonight, we start anew, with the Pygmalion coterie getting ready to set their plans into motion. Some being rather subtle, others a little more overt, some requiring the assistance of those around them, some going it solo. Some just wanting to reconnect and find themselves at peace, perhaps. Find some sort of solace in this turbulent time as the summer of 2025 is drawing to a close. Ophelia. Well, first of all, I must ask all of my kindred to make rouse checks for this waking today. We're going to focus in on Ophelia for the time, as things have been set into motion. Things have started to spiral out of hand in regards to Don Hernandez and his lackeys and the other surrounding kindred of Austin. And in all of that, you make sure to pay a visit to the hospital where your mother is staying. Only to have the doctor tell you that while she's not getting better, things have slowed to a crawl as far as her reactions to treatment. They're still hopeful that the treatments will continue to work, but it seems as if they've hit a wall. It's a stalemate between the leukemia and the treatments. And you can see as you walk into her room, as she's kind of snoring, a little labored, trying to get as much rest in as she possibly can. But
I almost feel bad that I would wake her right now. But in truth, my fears lie in the fact that, given the tumultuous nature of everything, I might not have another opportunity. I've considered long and hard how things will go after this. I've considered the possibility that I might have to retreat from civilian life. I've considered the possibility that I might be attacked with very little confidence that I would be able to manage myself in such an altercation. So I find myself back here, by her side, peacefully watching her. I do not make myself warmer, because at the end of the day is the beginning of mine. I can't really lie to her. Not anymore. I can just feign a sense of self. With cold hands, I hold on to hers, and with my other, I search inside of my purse. And I find a small comb. The back is made of a porcelain with a fine detail on it. And the bristles are made with boar's hair and a wooden handle carefully carved and crafted. It's a beautiful piece. And she used to comb my hair with it every morning when we woke up. I would sit in Grandpa's chair in front of the armoire, and she would carefully take care of my still growing head of hair. I could smell the sun and the perfume she would wear. These were the days off that we spent together. And now we spend it here, in a place that smells of a plastic, hospital latex, and medicines, and illness. She doesn't smell like perfume anymore. She smells like sleep. Lots and lots of sleep. I gently stroke her hand with my thumb, with my head rested upon the bedside. And I watch her until she slowly comes to and realizes I'm beside her.
You hear her inhale deeply as she wakes up and realizes there's a very cold hand on hers. And she looks over to you as you're kind of lying there. Your hands are so cold.
I know. I've been out and about.
It's the summer, dear.
Well,
How are your hands so ice cold?
you could chalk it up to a bit of anemia.
Better
Work
not.
has me a bit too busy to focus on eating. But
Should take better care of yourself.
I know. I'll work on it.
Or you're gonna end up like me.
What were you dreaming about?
I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was just trying to rest.
You look really looked really peaceful. I almost envy you. Are the hospital beds comfy?
No. Not really
Here.
at all.
Let me help you. Ophelia will get up and grab some spare pillows that have been left to the side and just fluff and adjust the bedding for her mom. Are your feet warm enough? And she tucks the blankets underneath her mother's ankles.
Yes, I'm fine. Just in a lot of pain. It's, did the doctor tell you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of at a standstill right now. Have resistance. Looks like.
Well, they're still trying.
If you want.
At this point, I'm getting close to done there.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Ophelia comes over and gently brushes her mother's face.
So cold.
I'm sorry. I'll try and warm my hands up. She puts her hands between her thighs at this point, and just for the sake of her mom, she goes ahead and uses Blush of Life. Success.
Alright. You course your vitae through your dead veins to imitate the warmth of a living person. That's all it is, an imitation. You can fake being human. At least what's left of you can fake being human. The doctor's optimistic, but I'm sort of getting things in order in case.
I would prefer you maintain some hope. For my sake.
I am hopeful, but I'm, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
That's true.
I always did tell you to be prepared about things.
Yet whenever the moment comes, rarely are we. Mom?
Yes, baby.
There's so much that I feel like I'm afraid of right now.
What are you afraid of?
I guess just things changing.
Things change all the time.
I know.
The saying goes, the more things change, the more things stay the same, too.
I know. I just don't feel like I'm prepared.
I wasn't prepared when my mama died either. And she was 85.
You're not nearly that old, though.
I know. You can't help what comes to you sometimes.
Ophelia, she's got tears dripping down for a moment. She lays her head down on her mother's lap.
Very bloody tears.
Blush of Life. They wouldn't be bloody.
Well, I guess you're right. Maybe. You're not paying attention at the moment, I guess. She lay your head in her lap.
Mm-hmm.
And she just reaches over a hand and starts to pet your hair. Where did you find that old thing?
I've hung on to it.
You held on to it?
Of course.
I thought it had gone missing for a couple of years now. Who'd have thought?
When I was just a kid, I stole it from your armoire. I thought it was so pretty.
That was my mama's, you know.
It was my mama's, too.
And her mama's before hers. It's been in our family for, at least 60 years. Probably more than that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. My head's in such a fog all the time.
Do you remember when I was a little girl and I'd sit in Grandpa's chair and he would just brush my hair? And we'd talk about our day. You'd tell me about all the people you got to meet.
In the moments when you weren't screaming because you had such a sensitive head.
Yeah.
But I figured it out. After the first few times that we really started doing that you ain't tough-headed like me.
No.
Always so sensitive, you.
Yeah. I'm not much of a fighter. Not really. Not like you.
Well, I don't know what you plan on doing about that then. Because there's going to be some tough times coming.
I'm trying to learn.
Even if I do get better.
Yeah. Things are changing in the city. Lots of big changes. I'm trying to learn my best to be more of a fighter about things, stand my ground, protect what's mine.
Because if you don't, who was this gonna?
It's true. I don't have you to pick my battles for me.
I was never one to tell you to come to me with your fights.
Even though I'd come screaming to you anyways.
Well, I always made the hurt go away. But sometimes you gotta do it for yourself.
Yeah. Ophelia will just hold on to her mom's hand again as she pets her. I wish I could make the hurt go away for you, too.
Don't we all? But I wouldn't wish that on you. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Cancer's cruel. This is why you gotta take care of yourself, Ophelia.
Yeah. I'll try and focus on it more.
You eat right, you exercise, You do everything in your power to make sure that your body works just right. That's why I'm so worried when you get such cold hands. It's like you're dead. It's the cold like the dead. I'm
With
serious.
all my late nights and graveyard shifts, you'd think I was.
Honey, that's a bad circulation problem. You need to get that looked at.
I will, Mom.
Don't put it off.
I promise. I'll take care of myself. In return, you gotta keep up, okay?
I'm doing my damnedest. But you're ignoring your health. I need you to stop that.
Yes, Mama.
Good girl.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I nap with you for a minute?
Of course.
Can I lay beside you?
Yeah, I think there's room. She kind of wiggles over, and when she does, you realize that in the hospital she has gotten thin.
Skin and bones. That's what Ophelia is thinking.
We couldn't just put her out of her misery.
Ophelia winces at that. Just the thought of it. She
It would be a mercy.
grits her teeth. Then crawls in together with her mother.
She's in so much pain.
But if I did anything, any of it at all, it would take away her agency. It would take away her dignity. And I can't do that to her.
The kiss is euphoric. It'll leave her with the last good feelings that she'll ever know.
But it isn't my place to make that call. Ophelia let her mom actually rest on her. She will cuddle up close, kissing the top of her mother's head, her little beanie, keeping it warm, and making sure she's comfortable.
And she does start to drift off to sleep.
Ophelia is lost in thought. All the complications of the moment she shared with Yvette. The lesson she learned. It will change. And time will move on. And what our purpose in place is to care for these small human moments. Think of them preciously and care for them. And that's what Ophelia does. just embraces and enjoys the warmth of her mother, whose body has grown frail and tired.
Eventually, a nurse comes by to inform you that visiting hours are now over. And you quietly, I assume, get up from the bed so that you don't disturb her sleep.
I collect my things. I look at the brush, hold it fondly in my hand, and I just place it in hers. It's not that she can use it, but that I want her to think of those moments. Have that memory with her. Her memories with me and her mother and her grandmother. And I will leave for the night, turning off the light behind me. The sound of the beeping machines, just haunting my memories as I go. I have to prepare. Yes. I still have so much left to prepare for.
So much left to do, so little time. In the meantime, a visit has been called for at the coterie house. Alistair, you are there, waiting for a certain someone to arrive.
Could I do one thing first as I was waking up?
Oh, sure.
I would like to go do my rounds at the school and get some of my work done because I've been putting it off, and possibly get a feed in while I'm waiting to hear back from Martha.
Okay. Get a feed in, okay. Then go ahead and make your feeding roll. Also, we didn't get a rouse check from Yvette. I need one of those. There we go. Alright. Plenty enough.
How much? 2 dots.
Okay. And you were at 3? Okay, so it brings it down to 1. Okay. Alright. And you have summoned La Muerta to the coterie house to meet up with her. And not long after you arrive, she arrives in her very luxurious looking car. Practical, but luxurious. She gives a knock on the door.
I'll answer. Thank you for meeting me on Central. Please come in.
What can I do you for? She sets the case on the table.
I'm afraid things have escalated, and I'm in need of assistance.
Yeah. And you come to me?
Yes.
How flattering.
Well, you go to people for what their strengths are.
I suppose so. What do you need?
We lost another one of them.
I see.
I have a plan, but I need someone to cover us and help get in. And I figure, and he looks over at the case, you and your box of tricks might be the answer to the problem I have.
Right. Well, Pax and I have already struck up an agreement between myself and her. I don't know how much it extends to you. So what are you offering me, Mr. Knight?
What I have is going to involve Pax anyways.
Hmm.
But for between us, I believe this is usually dealt in a favor.
Usually.
Should you ever have a need for someone with my particular skill set.
Well, shooting off the head of someone and you doing some of your voodoo shit. Or maybe on par? I haven't really done a whole lot of dealings with Shroomier before.
I can do many things.
Oh, I'm sure you can. That's just what your clan is known for.
Yeah.
You know, voodoo hocus pocus shit.
I'm still learning that, but I also can offer research and planning and... Wait, did I take that? Sorry. And should you ever have the need to get rid of a few bodies.
That's handy.
Useful. Yes.
So you need cover fire.
Yes, we need a way to get into the Don's. He's probably going to have it heavy outside.
No doubt. That's a lot of mortals.
I'm hoping that Pax will sway them and get them to join on her side, but should not. This needs to end.
Okay. So I'm going to see if I understand the plan correctly. Your plan is that you and Pax just walk up to the front door, ask to be seen. I'm in a crow's nest somewhere, giving you covering fire just in case something goes tits up. Outside the mansion, when you're going to be going inside. I've been inside that mansion before. It is very large.
If we can talk our way in, then it wouldn't be a problem.
Otherwise, you're going to want to force your way in.
And then most of what's going to be inside the mansion will be coming into view.
Should things go well for you, that is.
Well, there's always
Ideally, I would want a funnel. gives me the most accuracy. I don't have to move from shot to shot. Not that I'm a bad shot when I do so, but it saves
Less
time.
work. Work smart, not hard.
Exactly.
Well, given the way the gate's set up, everything's going to funnel down the driveway. Should be enough of a shooting lane that you can deal with.
I see one glaring issue, though, with your plan. How do you intend to get past the guards? There's going to continue to be guards until there are no more left. That or your Ash. Whichever comes first.
Well, me and Pax, I doubt we're going to be sitting on our hands while you do all.
No, I'd imagine not, but you don't strike me as exactly the fighting type. How good are you with a gun?
Not really. But then again, like you said, spooky hoodoo voodoo. I have my way.
I suppose.
Coffee, while we're talking,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use premonition to see if I can figure out a way to make this work better.
Okay, you can use premonition, or you could even use, if you wanted to make it a skill check instead.
Or like a Alistair planning session.
Yeah, like a planning
Intelligence.
roll. Yeah, some type of
Okay.
intelligence roll.
We'll try intelligence first because that makes more sense. Because he's smart.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out which of these skills would be adequate.
Maybe a intelligence insight for reading the Don's like layout. And
For the layout of the house, that's going to be more of an intelligence academics actually, because that's going to be more or more intelligence resolve, I guess, remembering the layout from when you last last visited, because you've been there before, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, just for recall, it's just gonna be intelligence resolve.
Intelligence resolve.
Yep.
Oh, willpower 1. Roll 3.
Okay.
4 dice.
So 4 in total. It's not bad. Let me actually look at a sheet here. Did I actually plan that out? Nope, I did not. Okay. Okay. So, you do know that the gate is a good entry point. You know that there's one guard who typically stands there to open the gates and to allow people in and that sort of thing. Then he leads in the courtyard. The courtyard is a big open space. You know that you're vulnerable there. That you would need to find cover or get inside the mansion very quickly. That there are some things in the garden that would supply some cover should something go awry. But you feel that the best bet would be to drive directly from the gate into a driveway or some other entrance. And you know that there's an entrance in the garage. So if you can get into the garage, which you can easily force the car into and suffer very little damage yourself, supposedly, unless the car goes to light on fire. But to force your way through the garage, through that entrance, would be a way that you can get yourself and Pax in if things get messy. Ideally, things don't get messy.
What I'm thinking, what do I know about what Pax has done to parts of her family with the bonding? Have I been a party to that yet?
No. So
I
far
have
as I
not.
know, she has been very quiet about that.
Okay, never mind then. Sorry, I'm trying to keep meta knowledge out of this.
Yeah. So far, I don't think Pax has mentioned that to Alistair in character at all.
Um,
It's safer to assume that.
yes. So that is, should things go awry, we can break in through there. But
And gunshots work wonders on mortals. I'm just worried about how the number of things the number of mortals that are actually going to suffer and die as a result of all of this.
as I said, that is why we're going to try to work it out with Pax that we can see if we can get a.
If you have a ticket in, then by all means use it.
I'm
But
hoping that
that's
we can get most of the mortals to walk away from the Dawn. So that we don't have to.
you have to entice them with something better. Because if this is the way that they're making their money, you gotta supply them with something.
I was thinking about trying to restructure something under. If things go well. If not,
The
I have
same sort of
another
shit,
backup.
different face.
Well, my next stop is to deal with that aspect. It might not be the same shit. It might be completely different. And when he goes, there's going to be a vacuum left, and there's only one person I can think of that could help me deal with that problem. I'm going to be talking to Mr. Ball.
Oh, right.
If you need planning, an old Ventrue is not a bad person to talk to, especially if he has a vested interest in the area.
That's a big if.
Right now, I'm doing the legwork tonight. I'm seeing who I can count on and finalize the plan tomorrow before we do it.
Well, for PAX, I would be willing to provide Overwatch. But know that going in guns a-blazing is not how you do this.
I don't really want to go in guns blazing. If it works out the way I hope, no mortals will die.
Fingers crossed.
I'll cross anything I can.
I seriously doubt it, though. I've seen the way that these things go. I've done these things. Never ends pretty. Even when you mean well.
That's maybe. But I'm still stupid, young and naive, and full of hope.
This is why I'm telling you this.
I'm going to hope for the best, but prepare for the can.
I understand. You're kind of likable. I don't want to see you dead.
Well, thank you. I definitely. Please don't think that I'm asking you to fall on your sword for me tomorrow. I just want someone. I would feel much better if shit hit the fan if I had you looking over my shoulder from a couple 100 feet away.
You know you're an idiot, right?
People keep telling me that. In some ways, I think they might be right, but book smarts and street smarts are completely different things that I'm learning.
And I have an equal share of both.
And the looks to go with it.
Flattering me is not going to help your case.
I'm just stating the obvious. I don't even bat for that team.
I don't think I needed to know that.
It was more of a joke. Trying to get you
Getting me to laugh is hard these days.
Well,
I don't really laugh all that much.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm a war criminal, remember?
Ah, so dark humor. I'll have to study up. We'll crack this case.
You can try. But, that being said, what is your fallback plan?
This is my active plan to get things done.
No, I mean,
With what?
when you call fallback, what is your plan?
Honestly, get out any way we can.
That's not helpful. You kind
What
of
can I
need
do?
a source of ideas. So, say for instance, you're inside the manor. And you're surrounded by goons. And it's going to be too much for you and Pax to actually deal with. What do you do? Because the mansion's going to be full of goons. It's always full of goons.
If we can't talk our way out, use what we can and try. Or...
You would know of some of the exits of the house. You do know that there's a front and back. You do notice that there's the one through the garage. And nothing's stopping you from jumping out a window.
Yes, we can... There are many ways to get out.
You just know the courtyard is where you're most vulnerable.
Yes. How does the backyard look?
The backyard is a lot of the same, where it's a big courtyard, sort of, but in the backyard there's a lot more hedges than there are open spaces, so there's a lot more opportunity for cover and, well, not necessarily
line of sight.
cover,
Line
but line
of
of sight.
blockers.
Yeah, line of sight might definitely be obscured, but as far as whether those shrubs are going to stop bullets, no, probably not.
No.
But they get a bead on you, they got a bead on you. But
I mean visual cover. I should be specific.
yeah, but being able to obscure line of sight, yeah, absolutely they'll be able to do that. They're thick enough. There's like hedges and fountains and trees and all that sort of stuff in the backyard, so.
Well, I have two thoughts. One, if we can get out back, there's plenty of line of sight blockers that we can at least obscure ourselves to reduce the amount of fire we're taking directly and go off that way. We can stash a car, or
So why are you even entertaining the idea of the gate in the front and walking in saying, hey, we want to talk?
could try to be. I'm not that stealthy.
Mm,
We could try to do clandestine.
there's always that option. You don't have to walk up to the door and say, hey, look, I'm here. You could just show up at the office and be like, ookie bookie.
Hmm.
You're not that sneaky like a Nosferatu, are you?
Oh, hell no.
Hmm.
When it comes to some things, I have two left.
Noted.
I was always more of a physical, not a dexterous person.
Hmm. More of a
Well,
more of a throw a punch instead of dodging the punch coming at you.
yeah. It was more judo, but you get the idea.
Hmm.
The last thing I could think of would be the nuclear option if we weren't going to get out, but having a way to finish it on my own term.
Meaning,
What kind of ordnance do you think you can get your hands on?
what kind of what can I get my hands on?
Can you get your hands on something small but very powerful explosive wise?
Like C4.
Any kind of plastic explosives or various uh, blasting agents that is concealable.
Ugh. If I'd had more time. But if you're planning on doing this tomorrow,
I can throw the bit of money I have at it if you would help.
it might grease some wheels, but I don't know that I can guarantee that. It's a bit of a hit or miss. I wouldn't count on it. Be a plus, but wouldn't count on it.
Well, like I said, that's a nuclear option that I do not want to.
I mean,
But if we
obviously,
had
you'd
it,
be blowing yourself to smithereens. Possibly even dead.
yes.
In fact, you probably would be better off if that were to happen, because if he were to have the last little remaining bits of you, well,
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be pretty.
No.
If you're going nuclear, you want to be positive,
Yeah.
which would be a real shame. Because that house is really pretty.
It might need some renovations after that. But you could probably get it for cheap.
It just wouldn't be the same.
True.
Damn. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I don't want to shoot up that house.
Yes.
But that's not my decision.
Coffee, I need to run to the restroom really quick. I apologize.
Sure. We could find out briefly what Yvette is up to during during all of this.
Très bien.
So, Miss LaCroix, where are you currently?
At this point, I am just outside of the city. Currently observing my clock and tailing of an unbeknownst to many. This van is carrying armaments. Pax had earlier offered up information, and so I have taken it. I am, at this exact moment, following them. In a few moments, I will have to end up cutting them off. There will be a inconvenience, but when I end up doing so, I will make contact with the driver. I proceed to end up opening up my glove box and pulling out a unique piece. A small explosive device. One I have managed to end up getting a hold through various indulgences, shall we say. Thankfully, at this point, I am prepared to end up doing so. This van, you see, is oft to arm members of Don Hernandez. It is a gift from the cartel, as he is moving to prepare for war against not only us, but potentially the Baron. He has already made this an active war. And I was beseeched by Alistair to end up making this a fight amongst kindred. But he did not understand what that means. I drive, observing, and old instincts start to kick in. It is not nerves. Almost like slipping on an old pair of gloves. Familiar. I ready myself. Start to drive forward. And at that moment, a small inconvenience, a slip of the steering wheel, or something akin. I arouse the blood to end up preparing myself to end up slowing them.
Okay. Make a... since this is going to be sort of an intentional sideswipe, in a way, I'm going to make this a composure and drive roll.
Very well. Arouse the blood, which I pass.
Mm-hmm.
And I prepare for the impact. And that is 5 successes.
Mm-hmm. With very little damage to the car, you kind of veer a little bit towards the side of this truck on the highway, and they catch on swiftly enough because you're driving carefully enough that they're able to pull off to the side and pull off into an exit off of the highway rather than collide with you. And so you're kind of following along into the exit with them, and kind of making your way towards the gas station at the end of the sort of stop sign. And they pull into the gas station, and kind of you see that there's a couple of people who come out of the cab to inspect the sides of the vehicle as they're stopped at this gas station, and You see one of them is kind of standing watch, and two of them are kind of inspecting the damage just to see how badly it is that you might have nicked them, which wasn't terribly bad.
I go
So,
to. I know I must act quickly.
mm,
While the other two are distracted, I go to the lone one.
mm.
I come across this apologetic. I'm sacre bleu. I have no idea what would have happened, but the moment I end up grabbing hold of his attention,
And he's looking you directly in the eyes and saying, what the hell is your problem, lady?"
I end up looking him in the eye. I end up beginning to use the gifts of blood. Submerge directive.
The calling upon the dominate power to plant a command, one that the subject will not be aware that they carry.
I proceed to, as I'm speaking to him, slip the grenade in a off pocket. The one, you know, and how many people carry such things. I'm even quick to feel if he is carrying a pistol, which I have no doubt he is doing at this point.
Which he does. Mm-hmm.
The moment that door is open to unload or the moment the door opens, when you get to your destination, you are to reach into that pocket and throw the grenade into the back of the van. She uses a second, however, to fog the memory, to cloud it, to hide this interaction. Or she starts to walk away and gets into her vehicle. She thinks on how this will play out. She starts the vehicle before any of the others. And perhaps maybe they caught her driving away, perhaps he was shooed away. But when this happens, she starts to drive. She begins to make a call to Monsieur Pendrum, running for election.
Of course. Mr. Pendrum answers, "Yes, hello."
Ah, Monsieur, how is my favorite future senator?
"Ah, Yvette. How have you been?"
I have not long to talk.
"Oh, okay. What's going on?"
I believe there is a certain level of confidentiality I must observe, Monsieur Pendrum.
All right.
But I thought it would be best for you to be aware that a situation will arise shortly. You will know it when you hear it.
Aha.
You will end up getting detractors from certain donors, I have no doubt. But understand that they are doing so out of desperation. This is an opportunity to perhaps get yourself some good graces into the polls. And It is going to happen within the hour.
Oh.
I can say no more, or how I would know, as I do not expel your secrets, but I believe in your campaign.
And I certainly trust your judgment. I will make the necessary preparations.
Monsieur,
Mm-hmm.
I am fearful for this city. Came to America to be free of such things. And I fear it is what it will be. It will come here. This. She pauses for a moment to regain herself. Or so she feigns.
Yvette, I promise that things will be better. Whatever it is that you left back in Europe, that's... I don't know the details, and you haven't exactly shared, but...
I try not to share it. But I know this. The policia, pardon, the police did not do something. I fear there won't be much of a city left. That is the nature of this call.
I think I understand. You needn't worry. I'll handle it.
I have sacrificed much to give you this chance, Monsieur Pinto. Please, see this done.
Of course. You have been such a valuable advisor to me. I consider you among my friends.
Guess I will find out if that is true in time. Must be going now. She
All right.
looks at the phone and hangs up. Proceeds to grab hold of a secondary phone, one used for her moments beforehand. Proceeds to dial in a number to Mademoiselle Ophelia.
All right. We'll come back to that in just a moment. As Alistair, was there more that you needed to say to La Muerta?
Just pleasantries and a goodbye and set up a meeting with Mr. Ball. I do apologize, but that hit really quickly. And I had to go pay.
That's fair enough. Well, I think for the moment, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, the phone call to Ophelia will connect. Be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Austin by Starlight. Later on in the evening, Ophelia, you've set up a meeting with your sire, Baron Kane, to discuss some things that have been going on in the city recently, as well as maybe get some guidance on this or that he might have advice for you on. But as you're kind of pulling up to the office space where he typically holds his meetings with other kindreds, much like yourself and every other kindred that's in the domain, you see that Alistair is also pulling up in his own vehicle. He's, well, dressed normally. Seems to be normal. So, what do you do?
Surprised, I approach him. Mr. Knight, what are you doing here this evening? Do you have an appointment?
Oh, yes. It was short notice, but I asked for a meeting.
I see.
Unless it
Well.
is a emergency, I wouldn't want to show up unannounced. That is considered rude in most any circles, unless you are very close to the person.
Well, I'm not quite sure what it is about, but I imagine, generally speaking, if one of those of Pygmalion have need to speak with Baron Kane tonight, it is of importance. Shall I see you in?
Oh, please. And I
No.
will follow Ophelia in.
Okay. She brings him to the lobby. And there she waits. She says hello to the regular individuals and servants, maybe like a maid or such that she's familiar with there within the building.
Yeah, this building is kind of built like a hotel, but you know that only Baron Kane really resides in this place, aside from his staff.
Staff being a loose term here.
Staff being a loose term here, maybe.
Just another thing to collect.
But one of the members of the staff kind of walks you over to the elevator and says, "Go ahead and go up. He's expecting you."
Wonderful. And Ophelia will go inside the elevator, and as the door's shut, she turns to Mr. Knight. So, you mind telling me what's going on this evening?
Well, unless our Baron wants to keep it from you, I'm sure you're going to get... I'll tell everything that I'm planning for the next couple of days and hoping how it shakes out. And, well, I've been doing things as I best can to help protect our domain and further his reign. But these next moves be a bit louder.
I'm sorry, further his reign.
Yes. I have a vested interest in keeping him in power. He has been very good to me, and I wish to repay that.
Oh dear. All right, Mr. Knight. If you don't mind, I plan to sit in with the two of you. I also had intents on reporting the situation and status with this little conundrum regarding Don Hernandez.
Yes.
That, and I had my own distinct conversations to be had, so... Things regarding child and sire. I'm sure you understand how personability comes into play there, some degree of privacy.
Generally.
The
Are
elevator
you...
dings and opens up to the floor where his office to be.
Ophelia just purses her lips and
I'll begin
bites her...
walking slowly to let her finish talking.
She nods it off, bites her tongue, and just continues walking through at a regular pace, her heels clicking onto the tile floor.
Alistair just follow with his arms crossed behind his back.
And you are allowed by a servant into the room. The door is shut behind you both, and you see Baron Kane standing kind of at a bookshelf, kind of just looks like he's perusing. Just kind of gliding his fingers over the spines of the books, just looking like he's looking for something to read.
Good evening, Baron Kane.
Ophelia and Alistair.
Yeah.
Did not realize that you both would be coming at once.
Would you like me to step outside so you can have a moment with your child?
That can wait, I'm sure.
It most certainly can.
As
And
you
he
wish.
gestures towards the coffee table and the leather seats that kind of surround it. Please.
I'll wait till he sits first and then sit.
All right, and so he sits, and I imagine that you both sit as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is on your minds?
An update on the circumstance and setting. Of course, that is in my case. Mr. Knight, if you want to go ahead and begin on your topics, I do not mind waiting my turn.
I just wanted to give you an update, sir, on what I've been doing and some of the moves that I've made and future ones that I plan. Just to make sure that the end goal is acceptable. I would hate to overstep my bounds and get on your bad side.
Well, nobody wants that. Nobody likes my bad side. But you're comfortable, kind of points back and forth between the two of you, sharing in front of the entire group. Both of you.
Whatever you deem is necessary. If you wish your child to know my plans,
That is
is
not
your
for me to
prerogative.
decide. That is up for you both to decide. She's not a member of your coterie, or at least not officially.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Knight. We came to this agreement in the elevator earlier, did we not?
Yes, I'm just thinking. It does not bother me. As long as it's okay with the Baron. I've always been too easily to speak my mind. That's one of my problems. I simply wish to defer to your judgment. But I can
I
go
have no
on.
judgment on the matter. This is not my quarrel. If you would like me to settle it, I will, but that usually requires force.
No, I don't think that is necessary. We will
I didn't
save
think
force
so.
where
Mr.
you
Knight.
need to. But you know how we were, and the things that we discussed have all seemed to have come up in relatively good standing. I've sought out some old friends that happen to fall on the enemy lines and am trying to entice them to our side,
Hmm.
as well as weaponize the other side against the Don.
Good.
I am.
Good luck with that. Santos cares about very little.
I didn't appeal to Santos. I appealed to some of the people under them. Because if things go bad, then they're the ones going to take the brunt of it, not Santos. Hearts and minds.
Huh.
It didn't work in Vietnam, but you know,
Well,
not the South. Still not a bad strategy.
I see. Interesting take.
I believe that I have a plan that we're going to deal with the Dawn and the end game. I wish to gain some of the knowledge that the Hakata had from his library for you. I do not wish for. We may be relieving them of their stance for the moment in the city, whether you deem for them to be able to come back. But I would rather not have their power gone forever, not used.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean by their power.
I seek to learn the gifts of them. I've already started taking steps to do so.
Aha. That's intriguing. But not unheard of amongst the Tremere. Always wanting to know more about everything. Makes sense, given that you're the type to also hoard.
We may do it for different reasons, but I think both of us like to know.
I think it's for very much the same reasons. Kid just can't stand not knowing, can you?
No, but I think the difference lies in you would want the first edition, and I could care less if it was copied into a notebook.
What makes you think I'm that petty?
I've always heard the comparison to the dragon, and I thought that the value of the thing was part of the acquisition. I
Not
don't think it's
always.
petty. I didn't think of it as a petty matter. I would not insult you in that way. I just thought that that was part of the flavor of why you wanted to own it. It may be a misgiving in my account. It's definitely an assumption.
Each Sumisi is different. What we consider to be valuable is different. Just as what I consider to be valuable is very different than what Ophelia feels is valuable. What we cherish can be similar, but I've always found it to be unique amongst my brethren. Some may hoard gold, as some would mythifize as dragons do. Others hoard valuable objects. Others might just want to hoard the memories that are attributed to the items in their collection. Others just simply want to maintain what they've created. That's the distinction, Mr. Knight. I hope that clarifies something about dragons for you.
I'm always eager to learn.
Consider that a free piece of advice.
Thank you.
So, your plan. Run it by me again. What exactly are you planning on doing?
So, in order to do this as quietly as possible, I'm going to try to get one of my coterie mates to use their connections to get most of the force to walk off if they can, because of what's coming. If we can spare as many lives as possible, and very much the lives are great to save, but the noise that would come along with that many deaths is what I'm really trying to avoid. To get in and then deal with the Baron, or not the Baron. What is the Don? I literally looked over and read Baron off the token.
To deal with the Dawn, you want a lot of his people to just simply walk away.
If
It's a
they do
hard
not,
sell.
yeah, if they do not, we do have backup.
I hope that your coterie mate has sway that kind of way. Although if it's who I'm thinking of, they may not have a whole lot of sway at all.
Well, I do know that she at least still has family and friends there. I'm hoping that they have the sway.
Perhaps.
It does. Sometimes it's not about who you are, it's about who you know.
That's entirely likely. Well, we shall have to see in that regard, but I would sincerely hope that it does not escalate.
I will do everything within my power to not have it escalate.
Or should I say, have you escalate? Because, yes, I would like the Dawn removed. That much is clear. I also don't want this city to become visible to hunters.
That is one of the biggest things I'm trying to avoid. That was the biggest pitch that I sent to try to cut off the Don's influence on Santos' side, to get them to squeeze and push him back. Because if they start showing up because the Don is getting reckless and getting crazy, then we're all in danger. And while some of the higher ups, as in you and the other Baron, and you probably have contingencies, plans, and means, there's a lot of us who don't. And it would not be good for our country.
Well, if there's one thing that Santos and I agree on, is that we like the quiet. And it has been too loud. So, this needs to be dealt with quickly. And effectively.
I plan on trying to finish this tomorrow night. I merely wanted to get the okay and the go-ahead that the ends are acceptable by the means that I'm laying out.
What are your thoughts, Ophelia?
Well, thus far it has been within agreements that the Dawn is, for lack of better words, silenced. How that is done, I'm not necessarily too concerned. When a dog goes rabid, you leash it. Or you put it down.
Hmm.
Oh, there was one other.
Yes.
I did not know how to deal with it, but knowing everything that's going to happen, I was thinking about how to take care of transitions, and I was thinking to talk to Mr. Ball, because there's going to be a great vacuum left in the middle, and I would rather not see it escalate. But I did not want to bring him into this if this is something you wish to do, or you have a interest in seeing certain things go certain ways.
Hmm. Strange.
Mr. Ball, you say?
I could think of no other person that would have more hands in what's going on that could help.
I could.
Well, you are older and more knowledgeable.
No, I meant I know someone who would actually be very interested.
Oh,
If I might make the suggestion. I've been looking forward to petitioning Mademoiselle Yvette regarding some future circumstances.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think she has other plans. I was thinking more along the lines of our Nosferatu friends.
that's what I was hoping, to see them reclaim some of their territory. Hoping they, as long as they swear fealty to you.
Well, the Nosferatu and I have always been on good terms.
All I ever wanted when I started this was to protect where I live and strengthen what we have.
Hmm.
I think that's the major difference I realized against a lot of the kindred that are around me. I'm not one that I don't have the need to be in power. All of the things I'm working for is to further my knowledge. I'm okay with being someone's right hand and or an advisor or whatever they need me to be, as long as I keep learning.
Because knowledge is power to you.
That is what I hope. I do not like not knowing. I like knowing the answer to the riddle, how to solve the problem.
Hmm. Well, very interesting indeed. Well, we shall see who comes out on top, won't we?
I'm hoping things go well. If they do, we will be in a good position. Oh, Ophelia, did you ever finish the tome that I let you borrow?
Ah, yes. She actually pulls it out of her bag and hands it over. It's been very enlightening. Also very curious. I should want to learn more a bit about this, what is it, supernatural business. Though I don't think I necessarily have quite the hand in it.
Yes.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that you don't know about this world. And sometimes not knowing is actually safer than knowing.
And Alistair will kind of look through the book. And he'll close it and he'll hand it to Baron Kane for your collection. This is everything I've curated so far on the supernatural and dealing with. I doubt that there's much that you probably don't know, but as a thank you for teaching me the difference earlier.
He takes it into his hand and kind of opens it up slowly, kind of looking at the the handwriting on the first page. You're certain you want to part with this?
I have
Copies. Well, that makes
Besides,
sense.
all of that is up here too.
Well, you
I
do me a
look at
great.
the. Sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
it's. I was just saying you do me a great service adding this to my collection.
With most of the things I learned, I can remember all of my notes in my books. I'm not silly enough to think that I'm immortal, even though it makes it very hard for me to die nowadays.
You have
But when I do,
as long as you give yourself.
yes. But if I do go one day, that's what I want my legacy to be. I want the knowledge to be there. I don't want everything that I've worked for to just disappear.
But that's what it does. Everything that you know in your mind disappears with you.
I'm going to leave those much secrets as I can behind in those books, and they can be unraveled by someone that's worthy of it.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't lead hunters to us, huh?
Oh, I hope not. That's why things are the more spicy things are very heavily in.
Spicy. That's an interesting word to use for that.
It's something that the kids in my classes use nowadays. I'm trying to stay with things, but it is I don't know, they get all these words like yeet and I don't understand.
I'm not sure that I do either. Perhaps that's something that will come with time. But was there anything else, Mr. Knight?
Oh no, sir. If I learn of anything, unless it's terribly important, I will hopefully see you on the other side of a nice little victory. And
Again, we'll have to see, won't we?
yes, I'll wait outside for Miss Ophelia and escort her back. That seems the gentlemanly thing to do.
All right.
And I will get up and turn to walk out. Unless a phone call stops.
No, not yet.
Okay.
As you're walking out, as Alistair's walking out, Baron Kane kind of turns over to you, Ophelia, kind of crosses one knee over the other. What are your true thoughts on all of this?
My true thoughts. My true thoughts is that Mr. Knight plays nobility, but he has a tendency to be very fierce with his decision making, very loud.
As
He
I've come
suggests
to
that,
understand, yes.
yes, he seems to have a plan, and I'm preparing for it. I've come to the conclusion that there might be something coming up soon.
It reminds me of me when I was younger. Eager, full of vigor, and desperately wanting to impress.
My other concern lies in the further escalations of events thus far. And that's specifically what I wanted to speak with you on tonight.
It's about that moment, Ophelia, you get a phone call. And you see that it's Yvette's number.
One moment, and Ophelia will turn on the phone to speaker. Hello, Mademoiselle Yvette.
Bonsoir. Do you have a moment to speak?
I certainly do. If you don't
Fantastic.
mind, you are speaking in presence of Baron Kane as well.
Oh, Monsieur Kane. She emphasizes Monsieur as she's online.
Yes. Mademoiselle?
Très bien. Très bien. Well, this is a little awkward, but probably for the best. Monsieur, is there I understand your domicile is a little enjoying of the antiquities. And yet, I wonder if you have a television.
Yes. Yes. He kind of goes searching around his chair and then realizes that he has the remote on his desk, and he goes over to his desk for a moment and fiddles with it for a moment before turning the TV on.
Fantastic. I think this will be a newsworthy day.
Newsworthy, you say?
And I believe that this is going to be. Well, you may be reminded of our discussion back at the gathering when we looked upon the city.
Aha. I
I
shall be watching for newsworthy announcements.
Mademoiselle Lugosi, have your checkbook ready. I believe that you are about to find an opportunity of a lifetime. If you have an eye for such things.
You know I do.
And Yvette's hoping that they understand. Or she has no doubt of Baron Kane, but perhaps Ophelia, who is younger to this game, she may not understand. Oh, that also reminds me. When was the last time you were fitted for a dress, Mademoiselle Lugosi?
It was some short time ago, before I died.
Your hair, of course. Then I would end up presuming. Then we will have to end up checking your up-to-date measurements. I know and how much you have enjoyed your cream cheese baguettes, and it has. I fear that it may have ended up going to your hips, and a special day is coming. I hope to see you there. She takes a moment. Au revoir. She hangs up. Oh, go ahead.
Take care.
My darling, we really must talk about your phone etiquette.
Most nights it's well.
What's different about tonight?
I got bad news.
That's about your mother.
She doesn't speak. She doesn't even look at Kane.
I'm sorry. I did tell you that I could fix it.
And I told you it wouldn't be the same. And I also told you I couldn't forgive myself if I let you.
Just a reminder. Well, was there more that you wanted to say?
Yes. Mostly regarding the future. As I said, preparations are being made. I believe shortly after this, Alistair made a very prominent point that there will be a power vacuum. And with that, while the underground territories, nighttime, can easily be filled with the activities of the Nosferatu, there is a concern of the situation regarding the mortal circumstances of the territory.
You think the Nosferatu don't have their ways?
I'm certain they do.
You're proposing something else.
The Nosferatu have their ways, but I do not think that they will hold the line against Baron Santos, who wants to take the area. So my proposal is a new coterie. One equipped and adept with those who know precisely how to face Baron Santos.
And who might you suggest?
One devised of myself, of Mr. Ball, and of Mademoiselle Yvette.
Have you proposed that idea to her?
It has not yet been discussed. However, Mr. Ball is in agreement.
Well, I'm not going to say no, because that would be putting the hammer down on a anarch city. You can form whatever coterie you like, my dear. What you do with your time is whatever it is you like.
Then I will make do with my time.
I appreciate the heads up.
Certainly. It is the least I can do to make sure that the portions of the city that are yours remain yours, by any and all means.
Interesting. Could have swore you were plotting against me. It kind of gives you a sly smile.
I don't think I'm quite on par with that just yet. After all, I still forget about my disposition enough to make mistakes on the phone.
Well, it's about that moment that the conversation is interrupted by a emergency news report. It seems that a mansion, one of the estates on the sort of richer side of town. Ophelia, you would know that this is very close to where the Hakato set up base. An explosion has occurred. The news reporter is on the scene, sort of with firefighters and EMS and trauma teams and things like that are all sort of in chaos in the background. The reporter giving the by the minute sort of report on what has happened. A box truck seems to have been full of, it seems, ammunition, rifles, pistols, all sorts, that the crates seem to have exploded. They're still investigating to find out more about what happened and what caused the explosion and how much damage has actually been done. And they will continue to report throughout the rest of the evening. But that is the initial gesture.
Well, Baron Kane, it seems at this point that I might be needed soon, so I will be taking my leave.
Have a pleasant rest of your evening.
I appreciate it. And she picks up her bag, her coat, any sort of belongings that she had with her.
And he just kind of gets up from the chair and just kind of watches the TV, just kind of staring at it as the news report continues. The desk anchors kind of commenting on some things going on as well. That and you see that just as you're leaving, a sort of it looks like a press conference provided by the soon-to-be senator or prospective senator, saying that he will not stand for crime to be running rampant through the city and through the rest of the state, that he intends to clean up the state of Texas, as it were, just as you're leaving.
And overhearing this, Ophelia is going to start making some phone calls.
All right.
What they are, I don't quite know yet. I do not have the brain power, but...
Okay. But she's calling people. She's making moves.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I believe there is one last move Yvette still needs to play.
All right. And what
Yeah,
is
there's-
that?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, by all means, Alistair.
Oh, I was going to say before we got into that, there was one more stop Alistair would like to make on his way home.
And what stop would that be?
He is going to stop by his shop.
Okay.
No one needs to be there. He's just going to pick up a few things for a last thing that he wanted to do.
Okay. And what is this last thing?
He's going to go through and get some of the closest and oldest books in his collection, and things like as many of the romantic classics like Wuthering Heights and Romeo and Juliet, anything that he can think of, along with anything that strikes his fancy that would pertain to a certain Ventrue, strong-willed woman that he might know, and basically wrap it up as a gift.
All right. For when you see her next.
He's going to leave it on the he's going to leave it on the table with a note to you when he gets home.
At the Coterie house? Okay.
Yeah. It's just going to say, to Yvette for the big day. I would want to say, not every love lasts and not every love is great, but even if you don't like these books, please use them as a nest egg to take care of at least someone's college.
Okay.
He's more clever than I am. Something flowery about love and all that bullshit, and that oh yeah, these are worth money, so even if you don't like them, eventually they could put Junior through college.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. That is on the table at the Coterie house, and Alistair goes about the rest of his business.
Oh, and he would also send a text to Ophelia that he now has the means to make good on their arrangement.
Okie doke. And Yvette, you said you had one more thing.
Let's rewind time briefly. Yvette is just hanging the phone. She's at a small high-rise near an overlook of the city, awaiting for Mademoiselle June. This is not the same type of view that she was offered when she was speaking with Baron Kane, but it will suffice. From here, you can look down south and see the stretch of all of Baron Kane's domain. She observes, waiting for a visitor. She's calm, and yet there is a part of her mind that wonders. The anticipation of it all.
It's not long that you hear light footsteps behind you.
She turns quickly, her hand ready to reach for her weapon if need be.
And Jewel just puts her hands up in a sort of gesture to don't shoot.
Mademoiselle Jewel, pardon.
I know I'm pretty quiet.
On the contrary, I believe you announced your approach as best you could, given your circumstance. Come, observe with me.
And she gives you a nod and kind of walks up and sits and stands beside you.
I have a request and a gift to pay for it.
Oh,
Of the Nosferatu.
all right.
The request. I require Rumor to leave the state. For the cartels to believe that the Dawn has ended up beginning open conflict with their resources sent into the city. And I need that the Baron's men believe that the cartel has betrayed them. offer this. She gestures out to where the Don's domain lies, to where the Nosferatu have been driven. I offer you an opportunity to take this.
I'm sure there are others who will make far better use of it than I will. That's for sure.
It is my gift to the Nosferatu, who lays claim under what name, so long as they serve the interests of Baron Kane, matters not. I believe that the Nosferatu, noble, secret that they hid so well in plain sight. That is the truth of it. Cannot promise you victory. Can only give you opportunity. And in fact, from here, I want you to watch the conviction of my promise.
Well, throwing around convincing rumors is not difficult.
And ST, might I offer a little bit of a dramatic flair at this point?
Sure.
I believe it's at that moment when she says that we will probably hear a sudden combustion, a flash, a shift of smoke, something in the distance. And a location familiar to Yvette, though maybe she has a small bit of even a surprise there. And she looks back to Jewel. Is that enough evidence to convince?
She gives kind of this small smile and then kind of gets a big toothy sort of nails sort of teeth grin. Oh, I think that'll do nicely. Your conviction is noted. I suppose that's the fire for the races.
No. She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a small container. Inside it is the ashes of it once so young. Handful of ashes offered to her by Alistair, and a bullet fired into their haven. That happened some time ago. She looks down at it. The sentimentality, gripping it tightly. Mademoiselle Jewel,
Yes.
my name is Yvette Lacroix, sired by Jacques Bardot Lacroix, grandchild to Prince Sebastian Lacroix of Los Angeles in America. A name laughed at, a name scorned. But in this city, I would have it that Lacroix is a name that has showcased respect and is worthy of it. And I would have the Nosferatu know this true. To comprehend?
I think I get it. I definitely get it. As someone who also shares a distinguished lineage, they say that my sire is descendant from great tunnel builders. Zelios.
Zelios?
Or so they say.
The catacombs below Paris. Do you know this?
And below
That
New
when they
York.
No. Below Paris. In Paris, they go on for miles, holding human remains. But where many would believe them foundations crafted by master masons, all kindred know the truth. The craftsmen were of Nosferatu. They are a sight to behold. I have walked among them. And I believe that we will both we will do right by the lineage and responsibility laid before us. For while we are, our blood may thin compared to their greatness still follows within our veins. And so, we will do. But the Baron knows of the treachery of Don Hernandez. I have offered and showcased myself to be a great ally of the Nosferatu I trust.
Indeed.
And I have not pandered to you. I have given you opportunity and showcased it. I expressed my will. You may be anarch, but I think you understand in this we are of like mind.
You certainly command respect.
I hope to honor the Nosferatu further. Go now, Jewel. Make do, child of Zelios.
And she gives kind of this sweeping bow to you. And then begins to walk away. Kind of disappears into the darkness.
Yvette takes a moment to look as she sees the lights of emergency services. And yet her mind goes to that final moment with Jewel. An anarch bowing to her.
And it felt good. It felt damn good. I think that is where we are going to call the session for tonight. With things in motion, those who have made their moves have made them. And now it is on the dawn to make the next move. Thank you all so much for swinging by and watching, and to my players for coming and being wonderful cast members.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw, boy. Also, thank you so much, Maddie, for raiding. I missed the raid when y'all came in, but
Thank
yes,
you, Hero Zone.
yes, Maddie at the Hero Zone raiding. Yes, all of the Hero Zone raiders. Welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for coming by. Welcome to Coffee Cat Presents. I am Coffee Cat, the storyteller for Vampire the Masquerade, Austin by Starlight, and also DM of Rebirth, a D&D tale, which is going to be tomorrow. But
And a continuation of Maddie's original campaign, originally broadcast on the Hero Zone. So
exactly. There's a lot of things that I need to catch up on. So much to do, so little time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out, and we're here playing, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good session, very very good session. How did you all enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I just feel, I don't know, I kind of feel melancholic.
I think
It's
that
'cause-
happens,
Yeah, because
knowing that we're coming to the end.
yeah, this and probably the next session or the session after that, it's going to be the close of Austin by Starlight, where all of the plans come to fruition and we see what happens and comes out at the end. So we shall definitely see with all of this. But on that note, we do have some. We just have some experience to do, don't we? Oh, stains.
Oh no, we have stains.
Oh, do we
There
have
is no
stains?
way Yvette did what you did and doesn't come across without stains.
Oh yeah, it is indirect, so it's going to be 2 stains. But you have caused bodily harm and or death to certain individuals.
Making someone that's indirect.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty direct.
Oh, okay. Well then take 3.
It's more indiscriminate than anything else at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Whoever's in the building, guilty or innocent, it could be just some
Poor schmuck.
schlub who's supposed to be
Poor schmuck who was the janitor.
cleaning the mansion and got caught up in the explosion.
Yep.
Vet said, worth it.
Yep.
And I am not opposed to taking it. So
Yep. That's it. Then a 3 stain offense. Oh my god.
happens.
Yes.
Oh god,
She
Yvette
feels just awful.
just committed a mass murder.
She did. And while it isn't the first one, this one stings. This one stings because it was human life. You've taken set tight life before. Their unlives were already ended. You were just completing that cycle in the past. No, this was human life. Human life to oust one kindred. One.
This is what I was worried about. This is what it is to go to war against another kindred.
God, what would Dale think? You're left with that thought. Ophelia and Alistair, you didn't know that Yvette was doing this, so you're free from all blame. But that doesn't mean that you aren't free from blame in the future.
No.
Nope. You're just not part of what Yvette did. So there we are. That is stains. Now, did anybody recover any willpower? Or spend any? Because I don't think we did a whole lot of rolls today.
Nope.
I spent 1 willpower,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know if I even updated my.
That's okay. It was a new night
Yeah, I
anyway,
didn't.
so you probably would have recovered your resolve or composure within willpower.
Yeah, I just have 1 superficial. I forgot to set a desire for tonight.
It's all good. God, the chat's just exploding. Chat's exploding in feels in some regards. But yeah, we've got some experience to dish out. So, my 3 players for today, you get all 1 because you showed up. Thank you for showing up. It
Thank
means the
you.
world.
Merci.
Yes. And so, now we get to determine with some roleplay prompts some additional experience from all of you. Of course, we've already got the poll for who gets the audience experience for tonight. So thank you very much for getting that poll up for us. So my players, who pushed our plot the furthest today?
I'm gonna give that to Yvette. Pulled the trigger.
I mean, there were lots of little moves and lots of big moves today. So it's, I would say it's anyone's game, but that's just me. But there's 1 vote for Yvette. What do you think, fat guy?
I don't know. I made some personal plot moves, but I don't know
It's
if
true.
that trumps Yvette's.
You can vote for
Kaboom.
yourself. Just be greedy.
Be greedy.
You can vote for yourself if you want. That's fine. What you think, Derek?
I'm waiting to end up hearing Fat Guy's vote. Fat Guy's going for Alistair.
I don't know. It's kind of hard because how do you weigh a bunch of little things that he's bringing together to one big exclamation point? But you know what? I will vote for myself. I will try because I
All right.
don't. I know I'm definitely not in the other running for the other 2. So
Well, Yvette got the audience vote, so I suppose that counts. Selds used 3,000 channel points to make that happen, so thank you,
Damn.
Selds, for spending points. Much appreciated.
I'm gonna give it to Alistair.
All right, Alistair it is.
oh.
As much as this may have been a culmination of literally the entire chronicle
Yeah,
of
you've been
Yvette doing
pushing
all of
dominoes
these
and setting them up.
tiny things, I want to give it to Alistair.
Alistair it is. Because we had 2 votes for Alistair. All
Okay,
right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, who had our best scene for the night?
That's Ophelia, non-negotiable.
Ophelia. Yep,
It's non-negotiable.
I'm not taking questions at all.
Not taking questions. It's Ophelia. Okay.
That
I guess it
opening
was for
scene,
mom scene. Yeah.
There was no way I was going to be able to. Even if I could top it, I wouldn't feel right doing it.
Well, yeah. We introduced the show with somebody wanting to cry. I mean, Spectre, you were saying in our private chat that you were on the verge of actual tears.
So
One leaked out. It's fine.
I'm not stealing that away from Specs.
My eyes are broken. There's this clear stuff coming out of them. What do I do?
Breh. Yes. But we cherish the tear-jerking moments because you all in the audience come back for this. My players, you all come back for this. This is what I do.
Yeah, true.
This is what I do. Yes, Zulu, you're going to have to watch the VOD, which are all posted on YouTube, by the way, ! YouTube. So, last point of experience. Best line.
That's hard.
I am Yvette Lacroix.
That's the big one that comes to mind, yeah.
That was mine as soon as
Child
it
of
came
Jacques
up.
Bordeaux Croix.
Grandchild, grandchild to Prince Sebastian Lacroix,
Of Los
Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
Yes. Beautifully done.
I don't know why, but when it's
Oh,
you one of the things I try and end up telling the new venture players, while you are expected to go down that line, try and find times when it makes it poignant. And this is, I
Yes.
think, a really good example of
very
when that
poignant.
becomes poignant.
Yes. I'm going to need to learn Summers at some point.
We'll have to go through it.
Yep.
Oh,
Just as a point. Point to both of us to come up with it. But
the only other one that like got me
mhm.
was the whole thing when Baron Kane is like, "I told you I could fix it." And then I don't remember the exact wording, but Ophelia was,
Yeah,
but
that was good.
it wouldn't, I wouldn't want to do that, and I wouldn't feel right. That
would-
like,
Yeah.
I don't know how it was. I don't remember exactly how it was said, but that struck me as well. That's the two lines that I'm torn between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the ones from Ophelia were pretty poignant too.
I don't know.
Oh, thanks, Vancouver. They think it's criminal that I have only 100 subscribers.
I don't know. What do you think, Specs? You gotta.
I mean, my vote was Yvette.
All right, we got 2 votes, Yvette, but Ophelia, you get
Gets
my
the
heartfelts because of that too. So, you know,
Thank you.
you get my vote, and then ST's like thumbs up.
honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention.
Coffee,
Yes.
you can pull some bullshit.
I mean, I could.
You are God.
Incentivizing it.
I am a god. You know, I am God in this world.
I'll tell you what.
You know what?
No.
No, no,
You
no, no,
know
no,
what?
no, 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 no. You are not God. I am. I'm going to give it to Ophelia as well, on top of.
Oh. Oh.
Because I liked that line. Because I felt it was a very poignant scene between sire and child, too.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
I'm spending 3 right away. There's one last thing that should have been on the character sheet from the jump, and I didn't do it.
What did you, which one?
Melee specialty.
Ah,
Kindred.
Melee versus Kindred. Mm-hmm.
That should have been on the character sheet, but obviously there's only so many specialties you can pick at the start. So.
Right, for sure. But that's definitely one that should have been as soon as you kind of ironed out her history, yeah, that one, that's a no-brainer. Yes. They're starting to quote me. No, you're not God. I am. I may need to just put that in like the like quotes sort of thing. We need to have a quotes sort of Streamlabs thing where it randomly pops up a quote from the show or something, or you can add quotes by mods or something. I know that there's like a way to do it. I just have to set it up, I think.
Coffee. I would like to point your attention to Harem.
The coterie Harem. Okay.
Yeah. This is. Sorry. It's all that brought it up in my mind.
I am a god, not the god.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure.
That movie was freaking hilarious.
I love Groundhog Day.
It's
funny,
really
it's a funny
dark
movie.
if you read where they wanted to go with it.
Oh man, there's some dark moments in that movie though.
Well, like if you ever hear them talk about the span of the movie, how long they actually planned it to him to be stuck there, it's insane.
Well, it probably would have gotten old at some point when it comes to movie watchers. You know, you can only do the same shtick over and over again before it gets old.
Someone actually did the math of how long it takes to master something, and timed out how much it would take to master just everything that he did, and it's not an insignificant number of years.
No, that's definitely a good movie. Y'all should watch it. Also, Velocity, I appreciate the gushing, but go bed. Go bed.
Go sleepy. Go sleep.
Go sleep.
This is an order.
Let's find somebody to raid. So if anybody wants to spend points to guide the raid, you can. That's I forget how many channel points that is, but that's a thing that you could do, or I can just pick somebody from my follow list. So we'll set that up here in just a sec. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we are always live on Wednesdays. We try to be on time at 10 p.m. Central. But today we had technical difficulties because my computer decided to full on crash on me all of a sudden. That was a thing. But yeah, we're here on Wednesdays for Austin by Starlight, and hopefully for the next Chronicle, within a month or two, within a month probably we'll be starting that up. And then we also do Rebirth, a D&D tale on Thursdays, which you're going to want to come for tomorrow because, oh man.
There might be a big bad fight, and significant things might be happening.
I'm just saying. We're just saying.
Ooh.
I definitely didn't talk shit to a giant mummified sphinx. It'll be fine.
Ooh. Somebody in the vampire category? Well, let's go see who they are and what they might be what they might be doing. So let's get that raid started. So we'll be back for more Austin by Starlight next week because we have at the very least one more episode left. So say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Until tomorrow.